Midnight pre-patch is huge. That's right, tons of new features coming in this thing, beyond just kind of the event of, you know, killing mobs and doing the currency grind and all that shit. There is a lot coming, including class revamps out the wazoo. It's going to be crazy. So with this pre-patch just around the corner, let's get into this. Every new feature coming in the Midnight pre-patch.
January 20th, that's the day when Midnight's pre-patch lands, and this one's actually larger than most. We're getting a full UI overhaul, a new spec, a new race class combo, Transmog being rebuilt from scratch, a bunch of housing features finally unlocking, of course, the login screen, and a whole bunch of other things, as well as the likes of the new questline, campaign, and of course the event. All of this is going on before Midnight launches, and if you've been waiting for a clean moment to come back, well, this is it.
Time. Yeah.
Today, you're going to learn everything going on with Midnight Prepatch.
Prepatch is always a great time to come back, because there's always catch-up mechanics for leveling. Obviously, all the class changes go into effect, talent changes and everything, so you kind of get to start up fresh with everybody else, because everybody else is going to be a noob on that day, too.
Now, as much as I love them, here's the thing about noise-canceling earbuds.
And it makes you ready for the expansion when it actually comes out.
They isolate you. It's great for focus, but it's not good for being present or maybe, you know, going for a run without getting slammed by a car. Now, this is where Raycon's new Essential Open Earbuds solve this exact problem. And the cool thing is they're basically a new style of earphone I'd never seen before.
Oh.
They have this open ear design that lets you stay connected to the world around you whilst you're still enjoying your favorite music, podcasts, calls, anything. Perfect for a jog, a commute, or just kicking back. Personally, I've been using these when I'm just around the house, where I can be listening to my Rest is History episodes and still be social without, you know, the awkward, hold on a second, you've interrupted me, let me take my earbuds out moment, which can just spurt a bit of tension into the room.
Yeah.
Now, they're lightweight, the hook keeps them secure, and with 36 hours of battery between everything, it means I'm barely thinking about charging. So, the Essential Open Earbuds are here to help you crush your New Year goals.
Use Bellular.
Go to buyraycon.com/BellularOpen to get 20% off site-wide.
Use the band's link. Go ahead.
Thanks to Raycon for sponsoring.
Those actually look nice. They do.
And timing. Prepatch hits January 20th for NA, 21st for EU. Then the Twilight Ascension event launches 1 week later on January 27th, and then Midnight Early Access is February 27th, with the full launch being on March 2nd.
That's right. I kind of like this gap because I do feel like they're giving us time to kind of get used to our classes, because there's going to be so many class changes that happen on the 20th. This shit's going to feel brand new.
This is where the fun begins.
It is going to be where the fun begins. That is true, because everybody is going to have the all-new talent rearrangements going down, everything else happening, new ways to kind of do your rotation in the new add-on free world, where things are going to be a bit different. No more interrupts and a lot of stuff. So there's going to be it's going to be a different way to play your class for sure. So that 1 week gap is kind of nice.
That essentially gives you 6 weeks to get ready through pre-patch, and now that I've said that, let's start talking about the features and the things you'll be able to play through all of pre-patch. Demon Hunters are finally getting their third spec. It's called Devour, and it's a mid-range caster that's built entirely around void magic. It still uses glaives, but the soul harvesting abilities have these gorgeous scythe animations, and the entire visual kit has been rebuilt around cosmic void energy. It is genuinely a spectacle to look at and play. Now, this spec also comes with a new hero talent tree that's called Annihilator, and it's shared between Devour and Vengeance. The existing Felscar tree has just been renamed to Scarred, and now it shifts to being Devour and Havoc, and that does mean that Vengeance actually loses access to it entirely. Now, alongside this new spec, we're also getting Void Elf Demon Hunters. You unlock them through a short quest line, they get this unique metamorphosis visual, and they keep their spatial rift racial. But there's actually a few catches. So, Devour converts all of your Fel abilities to Void, right? It's all purple-blue stuff. But you can't actually make your eyes purple in the character customization.
Oh, that's bullshit.
With Fel green eyes on a Void Elf.
No, you can't do that.
Abilities, which is fair.
It literally goes against the lore. Everything about Elven eye color reflects deeply into the kind of magic that they're into. You got to change it. Blizzard got to update that. That seems like an easy one, though. I'm sure they'll put it in the game.
Fairly jarring. Blizzard really needs to fix that.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
There's a second catch in this as well. Blizzard originally promised, quote, thematic tattoos full of void energy for Void Elf Demon Hunters, but that line has been quietly removed from their blog post.
What?
There's currently a bug where existing tattoo options clip through their hair, and now, whether or not we're getting proper void tattoos is basically not clear whatsoever. And then
Also
third,
need that.
minor little thing, but a nice one, Void Elves still will get their 50% Transmog cost discount at midnight, but it won't apply to the new outfit slots, only the traditional per-piece Transmog. But don't worry, I'll touch the new Transmog system later on. The good news is, it's fairly awesome. Okay, that's Demon Hunters, but as it turns out, everyone else is changing.
Yeah, this is going to be big.
Being reworked alongside the Demon Hunters. That means every talent tree and really the whole underlying design philosophy.
Blizzard's... Yeah, one reason why all these class changes are such a big deal is because they're not just class changes related to rebalancing, right? We've seen that many times before. Oh, Shaman sucks, they're getting buffed, and Mage is too powerful, it's getting nerfed. Like that kind of typical shit as we head into a new expansion. That's not what's going on here. What's going on here goes beyond that because there's a complete philosophy change in how dungeons are going to work, how raids are going to work in the post add-on world, and Blizzard's changing classes to fit that new philosophy. So everyone's going to play a little bit differently. We're going to there's going to be a learning curve when it comes to our classes because of all the changes. Then you're getting also the new talent, the Apex talents and all that shit that we won't be able to fill in yet because we need the levels to get the talent points to put them in. But that stuff's going to change end of game rotations for some people too. So we'll see how all this plays out.
Simplification. But in a way that should mean less maintenance buffs, fewer filler nodes, and more pathing within your talent tree that will actually change how you play. And you have to remember, this is all designed for a post-add-on restriction world, and because of that, Blizzard wants combat to be readable without weak auras telling you what to press. Whether this will actually land or not, we will see. Fair warning though, classes will probably feel at their worst during pre-patch. You see, we're stuck at level 80 without the extra talent points and the Apex talents that will come as we level up to 90. That means that specs will feel incomplete, but should come together more when Midnight actually launches and you get those additional talent points. If you want more details, we've been covering the winners and losers of each class overhaul in a separate series, so it's a hell of a watch if you want that. But it's not the only thing happening. There's also a stat squish coming. Essentially, your numbers will look dramatically lower on January 20th, so don't panic and think your gear got deleted. They've just made all the numbers smaller, and that's all to make the health and damage numbers readable instead of, the Legion-era number soup that we've been somewhat living with.
Yeah, we've done this before.
Speaking of readability, though, Blizzard's answer to the add-on restrictions lands in pre-patch, and it is official replacements for most of the things that they decided to lock down on. So, I'll go through them here. Official damage meters are finally in World of Warcraft. They've got 3 visual styles and a lot of customization.
I'm very excited for this.
Done, healing, interrupts, dispels, damage taken, and avoidable damage taken, which does mean you can now shame people using Blizzard's very own UI.
Yeah, and updated this morning, deaths. We just talked about it. Deaths have been added, so now you can actually track deaths in your raid and group and stuff. So they keep doing stuff. The best part about the damage meter is I feel like it's been the most reactive thing they've had when it comes to feedback. Every time they've gotten feedback, they've gone back and fixed the damage meter up even more. So eventually this thing is going to be almost a one-to-one match to the add-ons that we've downloaded in the game before.
Of course, it is not as much as you could expect from details.
It's not yet.
It's a far cry from
it's getting there.
The worst case that people were fearing when it initially made it onto alpha. Another thing is the official boss alerts. I have to say, these are genuinely comprehensive. There's a full timeline system showing upcoming abilities with cast bars and role-specific filtering, so you can hide warnings that aren't relevant to what you're actually playing. Along with that, we've got official nameplate customization that covers cast bar info.
Hold on, what was that? Was that a role-related thing? So I've actually never used a cast bar upcoming cast kind of thing like this. I know other people have downloaded add-ons that do this kind of thing where it's like, oh, it's coming down here. This is neat, though. Is this so this is relevant to healers and tanks then? Is that what this is saying? And then it gives a dot, and then this is like a damage. I'm going to be using this. This is pretty cool.
And hide warnings that aren't relevant to what you're actually playing.
Looks pretty clean, yeah, it does.
Along with that, we've got official nameplate customization that covers cast bar info, aggro display, buff and debuff filtering, and all of that with multiple visual styles. And you know what? It's actually really good. Then there's the cooldown manager, which thankfully has got significant upgrades as well. There are profiles that you can import and share, sound alerts on specific abilities where you can basically pick from dozens of sounds and preview them in the menu, and the external defensives tracker is finally here, and it will basically show you what your healers are actually giving you. There are other changes as well. The personal resource bar is now a separate edit mode element, so you can reposition it wherever you want. You can hide the health and power bars if you don't need them, or you can choose to only show them in combat. So finally, it is something that is flexible and actually feels like it's part of the rest of the UI. And on top of all that, party and raid chat bubbles, DR tracking display, and updated debuff borders so you can actually see what's killing you. I've got to say, the debuff borders are really nice, and at least for me.
Yeah, these are. I love all the art. I mean, the art team always does a good job, but all this looks so good. Am I the only one that's this excited about all these, add-ons be gone and all this shit they're adding into the game to make that happen? Maybe it's not all there yet, but I'm excited to use all this shit. I feel like, because I'm not a big add-on guy, so I didn't have a lot of this functionality. I feel like I'm gaining so much from all this. So this stuff's good. I don't know if he's going to mention it, but the whole, not debuff, but the whole buff bar, we talked about it yesterday. Now buffs that aren't applied to the entire raid will glow when there's somebody in the raid that doesn't have the buff telling you kind of to reapply it to the raid, which is another nice little quality of life change there.
At least for me, they do feel quite readable. Now, there's also a new Journeys window in the Adventure Guide. This will show you all of your renowned tracks across Dragonflight, The War Within, and Midnight. So that's progress bars, rewards at each level, what's purchasable. Basically, it's finally a way to see what you're actually working toward without hunting through 20 different NPCs, or, more realistically, just going on to Wowhead. Now, there's other UI changes as well, mostly for accessibility. We've got new audio assist alerts, there's text-to-speech for whenever combat starts, ends for your health, your target name, and that's all with customizable voices, speeds, and thresholds. So if you need audio cues, they're finally built into the game.
Nice.
All of this, then, is Blizzard's answer to, why did you break add-ons? Now, whether it's genuinely enough for WoW's power users is unclear, but I will say it's not nothing, and it needs to be taken with a little bit of context, and that is that in Midnight, well, there's less filler bullshit in most fights. The combat readability is genuinely leaps and bounds better in many cases, certainly to where WoW has generally been over the last decade.
Yeah, I've said this so much already, and probably most of you guys, your ears are going to bleed right now when I say it again, but everybody who says, I can't play this game without add-ons, well, you're not going to be playing this game without add-ons. The game is going to be different. That's what Blizzard's been saying, and all the boss fights and all the dungeons and everything, they're going to be different because the game doesn't have add-ons anymore. So don't worry about playing The War Within without add-ons. You're not going to have to do that. You'll be playing Midnight, a game designed with that in mind.
So with those improvements in mind, I think a lot of this should actually make sense and should work well for the vast majority of WoW players. But that's not everyone. If you're pushing the hardest keys, or if you're a Mythic Raider who wants the ultimate cockpit for your character, well, yeah, the official option won't be enough. And
that mob looks cool.
By design, because Blizzard doesn't want the UI to be that powerful. They want us looking at the game.
Shocker, right?
Another system getting attention is Transmog. Now, I've already covered the new outfits and situation system in depth already. Basically, the TLDR is that Transmog now applies to the actual item slot rather than the gear itself, and it can now automatically swap based on context. So you can swap into your home gear whenever you walk into your player house, your city gear when you walk into the city, dungeoning gear when you walk into a dungeon, PvP gear when you walk into a battleground. All of that's customizable. Now, there were some concerns over the price of this system, but the good news is Blizzard made it radically cheaper after player feedback. Okay, 2 quick additions for Prepatch though. Tier set acquisition has been improved. Basically, completing a higher difficulty will now unlock all lower tints automatically. So as an example, if you go and clear Mythic and Taurus, and you get a whole bunch of gear from Mythic and Taurus, that will automatically unlock all of the stuff from Heroic, Normal, and LFR.
Oh yeah, I forgot this is retroactive. That's right. So all the old sets that I went back and got at a Mythic level, I'm about to get all the other tints too. Damn, a lot of us are about to get some new transmog. This is cool.
And another nice thing, warriors can finally transmog 2-handed weapons onto 1-handed weapons without needing any specific weird talent thing. It just works in the base UI.
Nice.
Over on the housing front,
I know we saw it yesterday.
will have been live for about 6 weeks by the time pre-patch hits, but the Endeavors feature won't unlock until pre-patch on January 20th. Now, you can think of Endeavors as being a little bit like the trading post, but for your whole neighborhood. So they'll rotate monthly, and your neighborhood manager will pick a theme from a set of options, like Niffin, Grummels, Drakthir, or Mechanomes. NPCs will show up that have got tasks and decor for sale, and each Endeavor has got between 20 and 30...
You guys are... the chat is so angry today. I don't know. Yeah, you guys got to stop eating like... I don't know what you're eating, curry or Taco Bell. You guys are spicy as shit right before stream. You guys got to calm down.
30 different tasks that are covering dungeons, raids, delves, world quests, gathering, and some neighborhood-specific activities. Now, the good news is that the tasks scale to neighborhood size, so a 50-player neighborhood will need more completions than a 10-player neighborhood. And the way it works is that if your neighborhood just gets quiet over time, then future endeavors will scale down to match that. And the way it works is simple enough. If you complete enough tasks, everyone gets bonus endeavor currency plus full vendor access.
Tech Tim says, "I'm curious how many people are coming back just for housing." I think there's like a community building up that are just housing Andes. Like they're not even going to play the game. Blizzard's already kind of built that out this way. And yesterday we saw that quests from Endeavors are going to offer crests, which was mind blowing to me. I'm like, why the hell are they offering crests? And the more I thought about it, I was like, well, now you're going to have a way to go into the game, create a new character, and go straight into player housing. That's already a feature that's available. And then you'll be able to, hey, passively get gear through whatever means maybe you're out there gathering shit and you're getting some gear. You'll be able to upgrade your gear by just doing player housing. Now, it's definitely not going to be the most optimal way to upgrade your gear, so it's not going to be something that people who are trying to grind out a season are going to go and do. You don't have to participate in player housing at all to really gear out in the game. But people who only do player housing will actually be able to even upgrade gear through the system. So, like, there's going to be a lot of people who just want to... There's going to be a whole community of just player housing Andes. That's all they do. In the game is they log in every day and they just RP player housing. Definitely a lot on Moonguard, I'm sure.
Now, completing tasks also earns neighborhood favor. This will level up your
probably
house
low-end
and
crests,
unlock some
probably
rewards along the way. And the whole system is basically designed to make you want to visit other neighborhoods, meet people, see what themes that they've picked. Because yes, it's not just for your own neighborhood. If you visit someone else's, you can actually get involved in their stuff. Essentially, this is Blizzard betting that housing needs some social glue. Reasons to say stick around in your own place or to visit strangers. But there is a little more than just that. Old renown tracks will now reward housing decor items. As an example, the Valdrakken Accord gives you an oven, a fountain, a stone table, and a grand mirror at various levels. The Dragonscale Expedition has a rug and a telescope. The Council of Dornegal has windows, books, and a cooking recipe. Assembly of the Deeps has a shelf wall, and even the newer War Within renowns are covered as well. So Cartels of Undermine, Galagio Loyalty Rewards Club, Flames Radiance, they've basically got decor baked in, and expect all of this to be going on with all of the new Midnight renowns as well. So basically, it's worth checking in on your renown progress because you may already have loads of housing rewards just waiting to be claimed whenever you log in. Now, there's another small quality of life improvement coming as well for housing, and that is the Harvesting Hatchet is going to become a permanent learned ability in pre-patch. So you won't have to carry the thing around in your bags. You just use it once, and when you do that, Find Lumber will appear in your tracking menu forever. Okay, that's a lot of systems and things. Let's get on to the meat, the event.
Yes, the pre-patch event.
A week after pre-patch launches, so we're going to have it for 5 weeks in total. You'll find a new questline that's called The Cult Within. It starts with Ramath for the Horde and Umbric for the Alliance, and in it we're investigating a new cult in the Twilight Highlands. They're not the Twilight Hammer that used to hang out there. They're the Twilight Blade. Essentially, same aesthetic, but under slightly new management, and they overtly serve Xal'atath. You'll have first met them in the patch 11.2.7 questline. Now, what about the event? Well, the event follows the standard pre-patch structure. So there's an intro questline, then there's world quests, weekly quests, and rares scattered throughout the zone. Some of these rares are callbacks to old Cataclysm dungeon bosses, which is a fairly nice touch, and there are two broad types. Simple, soloable ones where you just land and kill them, and then bigger ones where you've got to stop an ascension ritual that will basically need more players to be involved, and all of this gets you piles of loot. Now for many, an important part is the catch-up gear. It is champion track this time round, not the veteran track that we would usually expect. So essentially, it's normal raid gear. Not that that's going to be too important, you'll quickly get rid of it.
Nice, I mean, this makes another reason, why it's a good time to come back. Blizzard's even giving you better gear now.
it as you hit level 90, but it is a Mog to hunt, and if you want to take the new class changes
Or
out for
gear
a
out
spin,
some alts.
it's good to have a geared character to do that with. As always, there's a new currency. This time it's Twilight's Blade insignias, and thankfully, it is warband wide. This means that you can farm it on your main to just go and gear up your alts really quickly. There's also no weekly cap either. It just seems you can farm this out to your heart's content. Cost-wise, each armor piece costs 40 of them. That means a full set across all 9 slots should cost you 360. Then there's jewelry, which is a neck and 2 rings, but no trinkets are sold, so that's another 120. As for weapons, those are either 40 or 80, depending on whether they're a one-hander or a two-hander. So in total, budget somewhere between 520 and 560 of the currency to fully kit out a character. Now, the event stuff doesn't just drop those. You'll also get Valor Stones, Crests, and Resonance Crystals. So
I can't wait for those of you who don't know, Valor Stones are going away. There's going to be it's just going to be crests in the next expansion, so I'm actually very excited for that. Oh shit, Sam, did you grow a bit of hair in your vacation? No, I'm still balding. No, I didn't grow any hair.
So as you get this champion gear, you can also just upgrade it while you're farming up the catch-up stuff. Now, there is one thing to be aware of. It seems that sub-level 80 characters get XP from the zone, but don't get the currency or gear. So basically, level up first, then do your farming, and of course, you can bet that we'll be testing any and all power leveling strategies once this goes live. But let's get back to
these are usually good for power leveling.
You can also get early drops of the Thessalian Midnight armor sets from mobs in the zone. They're grey quality in BOE, and they've got names like Threadbare for cloth, Frayed for leather, Stained for mail, and Brittle for plate. So hardly the flashiest gear, but if you're a completionist, this is something that you can get, and if you want a more lo-fi aesthetic, it's good for that as well. And if you don't want to farm them, well, they will be on the auction house. And if you do want to farm them, maybe you'll be able to make some money. But going back to our event currency, there are also vendor rewards. We've got a retrained Skyraiser mount for 100, 3 pets, Scruff, an Emerald Spore bit. What
the hell is that? I thought it was like COVID. They got a little COVID pet there. Yeah, that's a good one.
Hydra for 30 each, a Weather Twilight's
little
Hammer
pandemic pet.
weapon arsenal for 40 that contains a one-handed sword, an axe, a mace, plus a two-handed axe and a mace, as well as a dagger, a bow, and a gun, so there's loads of those, as well as the well-worn Twilight Cultist's attire ensemble for 40, which covers the head, shoulder, and chest. There's a toy called the Twilight's Blade Top Secret Strategy Training Guide for 30, and then 3 pieces of Silvermoon housing decor. A wooden chair for 50, an enchanted candelabra for 50, and a Sindorai winged chase for 75. Oh, that was a dense segment. TLDR, loads of transmogs. And then finally, if you complete the campaign, you'll get the Twilight's Blade tabard
that's pretty nice.
Definitely Not a Cultist title. And if you're a real big brain, they have made something just for you. Now, Mythic Raiders may not be able to do this, but there's a tic-tac-toe minigame in the event base camp, and if you beat the AI, you'll get an achievement. Hard stuff. But next, let's talk about something that'll be a lot easier.
Leveling.
So while you're farming the event, you may want to level some alts, and if that's what you want to do, yeah, front load it. Here's why. The Winds of Mysterious Fortune returns with Prepatch. That gives you a plus 20% XP buff baseline that can be increased to plus 30% with the potion drops that you'll get from Mysterious Satchels. But even better, the Turbulent Timeways event is also still running until February 10th, so assuming Blizzard doesn't take that down early, there'll be another 30% on top. So if that all stacks up properly, you'll get plus 60% XP for the first 3 weeks after pre-patch launches.
I mean, for anybody who's coming back just for pre-patch time, that'll be really good to level up alts. But I mean, to be honest, if you're leveling anything up, just get it in before Legion Remix ends. That's the truth. Because right now, Remix is like, oh my god, you're freaking lightning fast leveling. But yeah, if you miss Legion Remix, because Remix will end the day before pre-patch goes live, if you missed it, this is good. 60% buff.
So if you want to roll a Void Elf Demon Hunter or level anything for Midnight, this is your window to do that. And if you're a big grinder and you hate PvP, well, I've actually got something pretty cool for you. As of pre-patch, the Comp Stomp Brawl is actually permanent. It's been renamed to Training Grounds, and it's basically the player versus AI battlegrounds that we know, and it's across 3 maps, the Arathi Basin, Silvershard Mines, and Battle for Gilneas.
This is good. We saw Comp Stomp, it just went away last week. Comp Stomp being permanent is great, but can I ask Blizzard for one more PvP event to become permanent? I want the freaking, what's it called? The pirates drop in the freaking battleground version of PvP. The what's it called? Oh my god, I'm forgetting what the hell that whole event was. Plunderstorm. Yes. I want Plunderstorm. I really enjoyed it a lot. Every time Plunderstorm comes back, I have a great time with it. Can they just make it permanent? So we can actually just friggin' jump in. And they made it an in-game thing that you can even get in. So it's already ready to go. Just permatize that thing. Give me Plunderstorm. That is my favorite version of PvP in all of WoW. That's all I want.
It's, of course, now available all year round instead of just being locked to the Brawl rotation. And what this means is, if you've ever wanted to learn some PvP basics without getting stomped...
They don't even have to make it part of the rating system. I understand it's a different tune and all that. Whatever. Just, I enjoy playing it, and I would like to sometimes just get into Plunderstorm for a little bit.
Navigators, you can do this. But I think for
Plunder
most
it,
people who maybe want transmogs, well, they're going to use this to farm honor and marks of honor fairly efficiently. So if that's your thing, it's worth checking out. And while that's it for new pre-patch features, I really do need to point out that we actually just got patch 11.2.7 fairly recently in December of 2025. It's got quite a lot of new features and things like the Brawlers Guild, so if you're just returning to the game, there's a lot of stuff that you can check out that's basically there and is pretty damn good. So overall, it's a heavy pre-patch, there's plenty to do, there's lots to prepare, and you'll probably want to spend pre-patch time testing out new classes. So to actually understand what's coming, check out our Winners and Losers of Midnight series. We've designed it to be viewable by everyone, not just people who are like deep experts in classes. So if you want to just get a run through of every class and spec in the game and basically see, huh, that sounds cool, or maybe something that doesn't sound cool, that video should get you up to speed and give you a lot of brilliant starting points.
Nice full overview there. Yeah, a lot coming, a lot changing on January 20th. And I'm excited for it personally. The game needs it right now. I just feel like there's nothing to do. So this will give us a lot of things to do, playing the new versions of our classes and getting ready for Midnight. Nice video overall from Bellular.